Hi, I'm James, and today we're looking at Dungeons and Dragons Adventurer, issue 5. So, starting to build up now in numbers, so let's see what we've got. Same cover as before, still the same price of $8.99. Contents list. We've then got what they call the 3 pillars. So we're now starting to move away from straight rules, more into advice. Which I think is quite good. So we've got breaking it down to exploration, social interaction and combat, and it talks about whether you should roll dice or role play something out. So I like that, that's nice advice. Yeah, so we're now talking about back to the more rule based passage of time now. So it says this is part 1, so it talks about what rounds and turns are. And it also talks about more general time, so it starts looking at things like using downtime and things like that. So that needs to be in there. Darkness and light talks about the different light levels. So you've got bright light, dim light, and darkness. Talks about dark vision and things like that without going and blind vision. We're not going into a huge level of depth. Yeah, I think 2 pages for that. That's probably too much. You could do that in half a page with something else. We've then got some combat rules, resistance, vulnerability and immunity. So it looks at how they work. Yeah, fairly straightforward. I like the bit of advice there where it talks about if a monster does have that sort of well, any of the resistance, vulnerability or immunity, how that actually should be communicated to the players. That's good DM advice. I like that. So we then go into the character creation. So we've got fighters, giving the quick overview of what they are, fairly straightforward. It then talks about the features that a fighter gets at first level, and this was interesting. They've changed how they've done it. In the past, all we've had is the rules for the character, but now we've actually got the different fighting styles available, which I think is a nice touch. It's nice to see that coming out. So we're starting to branch away now a little from just the pre-generated characters. So we've got a little bit of detail on Neverwinter Wood. Okay, yeah. Not sure the map's needed because we've been given the large scale map of that already. It does talk about what you'd expect to find in there. Talks about the locations that are all the ones included in the starter sets. At least Ice Spire Peak and the Lost Mines, because the other adventure is not set in the region. But okay, yeah, that's okay. Details of skeletons. Now, to me, that feels like 2 pages of limited information. That feels more like filler. I don't need that level of detail on a monster, I don't think. Not at this level as a DM. Beautiful art, but I don't need the art. And then we come into the encounter, Crypt of the Elf Lord. So we're still basing our characters in Phandalin, and what we have happen is Carp Alderleaf, who's quite a well-known character in my campaigns, young halfling lad, 10 years old. He keeps wandering off and finding things, and yeah, it can be a bit of a troublemaker. So what we have is he's gone off and he's found something. Come back, and he's asking the players to go and have a look at it. Now, interestingly, we've got something that is different with this time. This is the first time now we're actually keeping track of time, how long everything's taking. It doesn't need to be more than roughly, but it's actually giving the players a bit of time pressure during the adventure. So, okay, so it's not a big encounter. You're talking 4 locations, not a huge amount of detail in any one of those. We've got the skeleton, okay, fair enough, that's fairly straightforward, and we've also got monster that surprised me when I saw it, the Blink Dog. It does tie into the adventure, and I'm trying not to give clues away. But it's an interesting little encounter. So it'll give the players something interesting to see. You've also got a new magical item, Perrin's Bow, which, if I just go back a little, I'm just having a look at it myself. No, it is slightly different to the bow that's been carried by the what's basically influenced by Hank the Ranger in Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. Very similar effect. Interesting, this time it's got a string on there, which we've also got with this. But basically, it's that bow, and that's your magic item. So that's the magazine. The free gift this time is a set of dice. Now they are quite nice dice, in all fairness. I'll bring that up in front of the camera so you can have a good look at it. Nicely coloured. Yeah, they're not particularly heavy. They are ordinary dice. They roll nicely enough. They look good, but if that's the only thing you're getting out of this, for me, as a DM who's got all the rule books, plenty of dice already, basically for £9 I'm getting some dice, I'm getting, you know, adventure, 2 monsters I've already got access to. £9, that's a lot for me. Probably not enough to justify keeping going. I might do 1 or 2 more, but having looked at what is due to come out, and the fact that it is predominantly dice that you're getting, it's not looking good. Go back a couple of issues where we got a map and a set of dice. Yeah, that was quite nice. That was justifiable. I mean, of the issues so far, issue 1, obviously with the price it was, that was well worth picking up. Issue 2 with the map, yeah, particularly again it was reduced. Issue 3, yeah, we're starting to go downhill. Issue 4, I like the big dice, and the dice bag's always nice, but nothing really big. This one, set of dice. No, I'm sorry. It's. I think it's now hit the not worth the money, and I am hearing that from an awful lot of people who are buying this. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please click on the like button below so that I know what people like and I know what to make more of. Alternatively, if you've enjoyed it and think you'd like to see more, please click on the subscribe button. That way you get notified by YouTube whenever I bring out a new video, and you never know, there might be something in there that you hadn't considered, because I do cover a variety of things on the channel. And finally, if you have a little bit of cash going, I now have a Patreon account. I'm always looking for patrons, because at the end of the day, let's be perfectly honest, it's a good way for me to get a little bit of money that will use to buy review items or to travel to museums and so on. I don't put a huge amount on that. At the minute, all we've got is one tier charging £1 a month, which just, as I say, helps cover my costs. See you soon.